mic was not working, so I have to do voiceover for this part. For primer, I did use the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and I applied that all over my face. My foundation, I did apply the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation in the shade 202. I do blend it with the Wet n Wild sponge. And in this clip, I was talking about the Wet n Wild foundation. And I was trying to do a review with it, but it started burning on the sides of my nose. And then I noticed that I started getting pimples, so I was getting a reaction towards the foundation. So that's what I was explaining in this clip. So my microphone wasn't recording audio, so I had to take it off, and now I have to record without a damn microphone. Anyways, for my concealers, I'm gonna be using the Born This Way concealers like every time. I repurchased the e.l.f. concealers, and I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. So I just use that as a like concealer when I cut the crease, since I do use that concealer when I cut the crease when it is that I do apply eyeshadow. So again, like always, I'm just gonna apply the almond shade like that. And then I always take off a lot of product on the thing. So if I need more, I will go ahead and get more. But I think I'm okay. Well, I'm just gonna grab a little bit more just to apply it straight across the nose. Straight. I'm not even looking. That. Just to do kind of like a reverse contour. Then I'm going to use the shade Cloud, just a little tiny bit of it, like always, just to kind of brighten up a little bit. And I'm going to let them set while I do my contour. Well, I'm not going to really do cream contouring. It's going to be more cream bronzing. I'm not going to do cream contouring. I'm just going to bronze with the cream. And this is the Maybelline Superstay foundation stick in the shade 330 Toffee Caramel. I got this shade on clearance at Target. So I'm just going to apply it like I normally always apply my KKW contour stick. And then for my nose contour, I'm going to do the KKW Beauty Contour Stick in the shade... Oh, this is in the shade 10. I thought it was medium all this time. So I'm just going to let the nose contour and the eyes... The under eye concealer set. Meanwhile, I blend out the Maybelline foundation. with this Sephora BIB Rouge brush in the number 55.5. I mean 56.5. And I am gonna tap it instead of like sweeping. Okay, for my eyebrows, I'm gonna do the Maybelline Tattoo Brow in the shade Deep Brown. Now to set my eyebrows, I'm gonna use the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in the shade Clear. I'm almost out. Yes, I have to get really close when I apply this. Now to blend out my concealer, I'm gonna go back in with the Wet n Wild sponge. You see how much coverage that just adds when you let your concealer kind of set a little bit? Because I know these aren't really that full coverage. So when you let them sit, they get a little bit more coverage. And I also like to alternate between my eyes when I blend out the concealer, just so I could get the even amount of under eye concealer in each eye, so one doesn't look fuller than the other when the sponge picks up the concealer. Okay, before I set my under eyes, I'm gonna go in with this Real Techniques brush to start blending out the cream contour with the concealer that I left right here. I start blending both in. And I do this just so everything blends in together well and nicely. And I do drag the nose contour right here. Again, start blending both sides. And I'm gonna go back in with the sponge just to blend it a little bit. And to blend out the concealer once more, just in case there's any creasing. Before my under eyes, I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup, the Blur and Set Matte Loose Setting Powder. This is in the shade Translucent Light. Gotta get that product out, girl. Okay, to set my under eye, I'm gonna go in with another Wet n Wild sponge that I have for my powders. And I'm gonna pat at in. I'm gonna make an ugly face while I set my under eye. As well as I set my eyelid. Just because my eyelids do tend to get really oily, I have to set them. So my camera died and I did do this eye off camera, as well as I set my face, and I did do my nose contour off camera as well, just because I like to blend the nose contour up to the eyeshadow, so it would just go, just so it would blend all together. So for this eye look, I am going to be using the ABH Norina palette, the volume 3, as well as this Sephora and Minnie Mouse collection that came out like 3 years ago, I believe. And I'm mainly going to use it for this white shade that's called Daisy is My BFF. As well as I'm going to use the Ciate London Eye Luster. Does it have a name? Doesn't have a name, but I got it in a BoxyCharm, so yeah. Let's get started. I'm gonna take the shade A5 and I'm gonna apply that with like this brush. I'm gonna apply the shadow with this brush, and let me zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm gonna do. Apparently I'm not zooming you guys in. Focus. Okay, I'm gonna take this brush and I'm just gonna pack the shade A4 into the crease and to the outer V as well. So I'm just gonna pack most of the product, the color, right in here, and I'm lightly gonna start to tap the color in here to where the nose contour is, just so I could get less product there and just to get the majority of the color here, and lightly tapping into this, not focusing. So, and I'm gonna add a little bit more product just here. I'll pack the most I can on the crease. And then with this brush from Sonia Kashuk, I'm gonna take the shade I'm gonna take the shade E4, and I'm gonna start blending the orange. And I am gonna take my time blending this out just so it will look nicely even blended. I don't know what I'm saying, but you get the point. I'm just gonna continue to blend this color out so it could look seamless, basically. Okay, now I'm gonna take this BH brush with the e.l.f. concealer just to cut the crease. And I do want to go lightly with this. And you want to work lightly with this just because you don't really want to mess up, and just gradually build so you won't go too far up to the orange shade. And what I like to do is just apply the concealer there and then look up and then see where the concealer made a line. That's where you want to cut the crease from. To cut the crease. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my finger and I'm just gonna blend the concealer a little bit. As well as grab the blending brush just to blend a little bit more right on top of the concealer. And now I'm gonna go back in with this brush that I used to pack the orange. And I'm just gonna tap it right here where the concealer meets the orange, just to add that color back in there. Now, to get it white like this, I'm gonna use the Minnie Mouse palette from Sephora. Pack this right here to set the rest of the concealer. Okay, here's where it gets fun. Not really, but now I'm gonna take the Ciate London the eye luster, and I'm gonna apply this right where the orange and the white meet right here. And then I'm gonna grab my pinky and I'm gonna start tapping it out and just blend it, or whatever finger, just to blend it out. And I am gonna go ahead and apply a little bit more. Gonna blend again. And I am blending this with very light pressure. Like that. And then I'm gonna just go back in with the blending brush from Sonia Kashuk just to blend it out a little bit from right here. Since I don't want it to go above the orange, I just want it to be where the orange and the white meet. So then, because I don't really want to mess up this eye look, I'm gonna just curl my lashes and apply mascara, and I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl, the 3-in-1 mascara. Oh, but before I do that, I am gonna go back in with this brush with no more product on the brush, and I'm just gonna drag the orange color right under the lower lash line. And I didn't do it lightly, so build up more. And then I'm gonna go back in with the blending brush and just blend it out a little bit. So, okay, now to bronze my face, I'm gonna take the Hoola bronzer by Benefit with this Tarte brush. And these Tarte brushes, I did get them in a holiday collection. This time around, this holiday. Okay, let me do this really quickly. I'm gonna apply a little bit of blush, and I'm gonna take the Kylie Cosmetics, and I think this is a holiday collection one, in the shade We're Going Shopping, with the e.l.f. Highlighting brush. I'm just applying it looks seamless. To highlight my face, I'm gonna take the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Double Gleam, and I'm gonna use this to highlight my cheekbone. I don't really like to apply highlight everywhere else besides just my cheekbones and my nose. And I'm gonna take that same highlight with the Morphe M515, and I'm gonna use this brush to apply this on my nose. Like so. So I'm gonna do the NYX lip liner in the shade Nude Truffle, and I'm gonna go in the Cosmetics Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Exposed. Apple Watch keeps vibrating. Okay, so oh, I'm not done. Then lastly, I'm gonna set my face with the Milani Make It Last, the matte one, just because I do have combination skin and I want my makeup to last, so I have to use the matte one just so it could all mesh together. Since I don't know if the Milk one is like a mattifying primer or not, but since I did use a hydrating, I guess, kind of a dewy foundation, I need to use like a matte setting spray as well as a matte setting powder. Okay, so now this is the completed look. I hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and this video. And I'll see you guys in my next one.